For this video, I want to go into the idea of success and really clarify for you what it means to be successful, so that you don't have to live constrained by ideas of success and if anything, be in a place where you're stuck because you don't know whether you are doing the right thing and whether whatever you're doing is taking you to where you want to get to. Earlier today, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I got to this phrase where I said so many people are trying to replicate somebody else's success that they forget that success is unique to them, and that they won't be able to find that success unless they tune into themselves, unless they understand themselves. So your success is unique to you, and nobody can really take that away from you. And the thing is that I have this new notion of success, which is I realized that in my experience, my success has always been unique to me. And when I look for success outside, when I get advice on success, and when I ask, how can I become successful? What I was really doing back then was trying to replicate what everybody else was doing. And it's something that I found to be an issue, because the moment you start trying to replicate someone else's success is the moment you stop tuning into your inner success. Because in reality, we hold our true success within us. Our dreams, our wildest dreams, our fantasies, our abundance, the abundance and fantasies and dreams that are unique to us lie within us. They don't lie outside of ourselves. And in reality, your success cannot be mapped out yet. Let's be real. Like, it takes time to develop who you are, to understand who you are, to understand what your path is. But if we really want to be aligned to our path, and we want to feel fulfilled in the moment, and we want to feel like work isn't work, and like we're moving and constantly progressing towards our dreams, if we want to feel like that, then we have to be tuned into ourselves. And I see people often take advice from other people on how to succeed, and it's okay, but it gets to the point when we start asking for tactics, we start asking for the solution, for the short-term gratification. I know I would do it when it came to YouTube. It became this thing. I found myself going to YouTube and just, stopping production just because I didn't have the means to be a successful YouTuber according to what all of these other YouTubers were talking about. Like, for myself, I had built an identity with YouTube where I would put hours into editing, I would put hours into my thumbnail creation, I would put hours into planning. And I realized that that was hindering me because I didn't have the same amount of time. I have a full-time job. I now have a wife. I have a child, and I'm trying to pay my bills and work my job and make ends meet. And so that led me to never posting a video. It would take me months to post a video, and by the time that happened, I already had so many other ideas that I wanted to put out, and so I found myself having so many ideas and nowhere to put them, and I kept stopping myself because it wasn't perfect enough, it wasn't good enough, right? And I think a lot of people do this. They think that they're not there yet, and that they're not in where they need to be, and that they don't have the means to accomplish what their goals, and so they just don't start altogether. And what I'm saying, I'm coming here to you after realizing that all of that doesn't matter, that it's really just about you, and that you won't really find your success until you start to work on it yourself, until you start to act from that place, to act from a place of truth and authenticity. Because I realized that there might be people who are successful, and they will be masters of their craft. They put the hours and they put the work in. But what I recognize now is that it's not so much about the work and the hours and all the time they put into it. At the end of the day, I connect with those who are real to themselves and who are real regardless of the circumstance. So I don't care if you can be a successful artist, but you have a shitty reputation as a human being. I'm not going to take your advice. And I think a lot of people do not think about this when they're trying to get success, trying to achieve success. Like, I remember I was watching this video by this guy. I think his name is Ryan Pineda. Yeah, Ryan Pineda. He's got 376,000 subscribers on YouTube right now, and I don't like him. Like, I truly don't like him as a human being. They were talking about. I was watching a podcast of his interviewing this guy, and they were just talking about how to grow a community and why they should start looking into school communities, etc. And all I could hear Ryan Pineda talking about was money, making more money, how to make more money, how to maximize profits, and all this time I was thinking, like, this guy sounds so monotone. He sounds so egotistical that I don't even care what he's saying. I just want to hear what his interviewer is trying to say, his interviewee is saying. Because his interviewee sounded a lot more interesting. He sounded a lot more interested. And he seemed like he was a lot more about helping people. And I realized, I was like, you know what? Like, there's many people who often will give advice. And yes, they have the numbers. Of course, they have the track record. They have the success, according to whatever metric we put on them. They have them. But do I truly like them as an individual? And that's something that many people don't stop to ask themselves. And I can say this also about Alex Hormozi, for example. I am truly grateful for the content that Alex Hormozi has put out, because I know that he has put in a lot of work into his content and into his process. But there's something that I have to recognize, which is this man does not have the same life philosophy as I do. He does not have the same values as I do. And there might be some things that he needs to work on at a personal and spiritual level. I can tell that his success was mostly driven by his need to prove himself to the world, to his father. And so he's telling people to work off that, like, to just grind and to really, if you don't have the success, then you have to put in the work, and you have to be putting in these 12 to 16 hour work days or whatever the fuck. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to be successful. And I'm tired of hearing these things, these stories, because at the end of the day, there's also a completely different narrative. There's people out there who be talking about working the 4-hour work week, for example, and talking about living a life in flow, living a life that is not so much about the grind, but that is about being yourself, really being free, not being constrained by external circumstance. And so this is really a message to those who have been looking for hours and hours and hours on how to be successful. For me, it's specifically being successful with YouTube, being successful with my business, attracting the right people, helping the right people, feeling like I am a person that is legit, who has value for people, who has value in the society, whose thoughts and intentions are meaningful. For me to that was the success I was looking for. And I was constantly looking for advice from people, and they did help somewhat. They were the tactics, the techniques, the different processes, the systems, but none of it mattered, or none of it clicked, until I realized that my success was my own, and that if I really want to create something completely different, then that means that and something that cannot be replicated, something that is revolutionary, something that is truly unique, then I had to stop looking at what other people were doing, and I just had to start doing it. I just had to do what I thought felt right. And I had to be, and if I were going to do that, it was only logical to do that. I recognize that now, because why would I want to do something that is not in alignment with who I truly am? Why do I have to do these things for a few years where I'm like, oh, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to give something up of myself, but then later on I'll be able to do it? No, fuck that, right? It's like, do it now. Tap into your success now. That's what this is about. It's about letting go of those beliefs that we have about what it means to be successful, because in reality, when we start looking outwards on what it means to be successful, all we are doing is trying to replicate somebody else's results and replicate somebody else's success. And maybe we can do it numbers wise, maybe we can do it appearances wise, but internally, If somebody, you will never beat somebody at their own game. You have to play your own game. And what is your own game? What is the game that will forever benefit you and everybody else around you? It'll be the game of authenticity. So you have to look within yourself and build from there, build from within. And so it's time to stop looking outwards and start to craft. Like I realized, from a more like from an applicable point of view, the moment I stopped caring about the edits, about the thumbnail, about the mic, about the sound, about everything on YouTube, what everybody tells you need to focus on. The moment I stopped caring about that and I said, look, at the end of the day, YouTube is the best platform, I feel like, to get my message across. That's all I know. And I know that I have an affinity to YouTube. I like using YouTube. I like the people that get on YouTube. I know that that's what I like to do. So I know I can commit to one video a day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, I don't have to do it every single day. I don't have to feel like I need to do it. I just know that at the end of the day, I want to shoot one video a day just because that's what's calling me. And I also realized that I want to create multiple channels because that gives me the feeling of, okay, I can create a specific persona around this channel. So here's a version of me that talks about dance, and here's a version of me that talks about healing. And that allows me to create boundaries around myself and to actually give the different versions of myself the space that they need to express themselves. And through that, I have experienced great success. And I'm talking about within 1 month, I'm already going to hit 300 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys for following me. Thank you guys for being a part of this journey. And I hope that I continue to bring value to you. But like I said, we're about to hit 300 subscribers. And for you to see that, like for me to reflect on where I was, 3 years ago, looking to get these numbers that I'm getting now, I was in a completely different mindset. And I know now, the certainty that I have, the clarity that I have about myself, all I see are numbers, and all I see in the sense of all I see is success. When I get the 1 like on my video, when I get the 1 view on my video, when I get 10 people viewing my video, when I get, somebody join my community, that is abundance to me. And why, there's been times where I've been getting the thousands of views and still I don't feel that abundance. I feel empty, and I've been there. I know what that feels like. And I early on decided I'm not going to pursue it if I don't feel fulfilled. And so I stopped chasing that. And I also stopped trying to sell my services for money right away. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm figuring out what I want to charge, and I want to figure out what this life looks like to me. How do I feel engaging with people in this way of a service-based business? So I'm not rushing anything. I'm letting myself engage. I'm giving myself fully to the process, and I'm allowing myself to see how the universe interacts with it, how the people react to my authenticity. And it's not so that I can determine whether I'm doing the right or wrong thing. I already know I'm doing the right thing because I'm living my truth. But it's more so to get involved in the co-creative process. And this goes back to my point of your success is unique to you, and you won't know what that success is until you fully commit to knowing yourself, to being yourself. So you have to embrace yourself. You have to double down on who you are. You have to double down on that and say, fuck all else. I know that this is me, and nobody can put a number on me. Nobody can put a technique on me. Nobody can mathematize my process, because I am me, and I am a unique expression of the universe, and that is my strength. And that should be that is everybody's strength. And I think that that's what nobody understands, which is that success based on appearances is fixed. It's a lie, and it's not really what you want. What you truly want is fulfillment. What you truly want is clarity. What you truly want is purpose, to be making a difference, to know that your existence means something on this universe, that your existence matters and has an influence around those who are in contact with it. And the other point that I realized was that people, I have this person I went to high school with, and I want to tell this story because I had this person who I went to high school with, and I never liked her really. She never was somebody that I found to be um a real, like, authentic, to be somebody I can connect with basically. And I started my YouTube channel a few years ago, and I also saw that she started her YouTube channel around the same time, and she was getting hundreds of thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And I was kind of salty back then because I was like, wow, so like she's getting the success. She's the one that's out here doing her thing. And I'm still here grinding, and I'm speaking my truth, and I'm being myself, and still, I'm not hitting those numbers. And this isn't a lesson about comparison, because you see a few years later now, where I am now, I know that I am so content with everything that has happened, because I know that where I am now is where I'm supposed to be, and it's what everything has led me to be. And I see the success happening before my eyes. I see the views coming in. I see the attention. I see the recognition. I see the appreciation. And I checked on her YouTube channel a few weeks ago, and I saw that she was struggling with mental issues. She was struggling with creativity, and I was like, I knew it. This is why I hadn't gotten the success. It's because I wasn't ready, and it's also because it wasn't what I needed at the time. The reason I'm comparing myself to this person is because I feel like through and through, no matter what, I have always made it a point to be true to myself, to be honest. And I feel like I have a good understanding of when people are being honest, when they're being real, when they're not putting up a front. And I felt like she was the kind of person that was doing that. It's not me talking shit. It's just me talking about what my intuition was saying. So me seeing that kind of was like a sign from the universe telling me it doesn't matter what you are achieving externally if what is internally, if what is internal isn't in alignment. If the internal aspects of yourself are not in alignment, it doesn't matter what success you get, it will always go to shit. And that's what I understand now, because I'm glad that I don't have all the riches yet. I'm glad that it hasn't happened yet, because now I have conditioned myself to a point where my relationship to money has improved. My relationship to social media has improved. Now it's a lot more calm. Now it's less about how much money I'm making, but it's more about how I perceive money. Right? It's not about how many viewers I'm getting. It's about the quality of the viewers that I'm getting. It's about, I learned this lesson where it's like, I realized that, maybe I was looking at this person's hundreds of thousands of subscribers and viewers, and I was seeing their comments, and I was like, damn, I don't have that. And people often do this. But for me, I recognize now that what about, did I ever stop to ask myself, what are those specific people that watched her video? Were the kinds of people I was trying to connect with? And they weren't. That was her audience. Her audience is her audience, and my audience is my audience. Her success is her success, and my success is my success. And that's the beauty of life, that the people that are with you now, that are admiring you, those are the people you should be paying attention to. It's a small group of people, maybe. It doesn't matter. That means that there's more people out there just like them. And that is success. So if you're able to hone in on yourself, to double down on yourself, to understand that you are unique in this universe, and that you will attract people who are unique to you, and that you can create a beautiful life through engaging and connecting with these kinds of people, that will lead to a beautiful life. That will lead to a life of riches, of abundance, of wealth, and of fulfillment and joy and purpose. That is the life that I want. So I think about now, it's like one viewer is worth 100,000 viewers for me now, right? And this is also thanks to Naval, because I saw it. I was like, I didn't plan for somebody like Naval to find my channel. He's got millions of views. He's got millions of followers. He's got an interview with Joe Rogan. Like, he's the person I'm trying to become. Like, he's the person that I'm striving to become. Something like that. And like, I would love to engage with Joe Rogan, to the person who has access to millions of people, and I want to give them my message of love and of understanding of business and everything. And I want to have those millions of people who are dedicated to improving their lives and helping people and being of service, achieving their purpose, etc. And I want to be that, right? And in my mind, it's like, how is it possible for me to have had this person shout me out? He shouted me out on my channel. He shouted me out on his Twitter account. He shouted my channel out on his Twitter account. And I didn't really know the guy. I had seen his podcast before. I'd heard of it. I had heard of it, but never really knew him. But he shouted me out, and that was when I was just posting. That was like about a month ago, I think. I was just posting raw content. I wasn't planning anything. I was just off the cuff. I wasn't planning the thumbnail. I came up with the title in the moment, and somehow he clicked on it. Somehow, by some work of the universe, this man clicked on it and he found it valuable. He found what I had to say to be valuable, to be insightful. And for somebody of his caliber to find that meaningful, for me, means that I am in the right place. And if anything, I'm already at that level. I'm at that vibratory level that this man has accomplished in his life when it comes to speaking his mind and bringing his mind to the masses. I am at that level. And so that also, it showed me so many things. Like, what if I had tried to do the thumbnail the way that all the YouTubers say that I should? What if I had done everything that YouTubers said I should? Would I have gotten his view? Most likely not. It was because of the fact that I was true to myself, that he felt drawn to me. Maybe there was an energetic pull. Maybe there was something that he sensed. And I think that we all have that radar internally. We all can see and feel when somebody is speaking the truth. And I feel like if we can trust in that fact, then we can go through our lives and speak our truth. And that will be the one way that we always are operating from. And if we can do that, then we can create communities full of people looking to expand their truth, looking to connect their truth and love. And when that happens, it's over. We will be working in synchrony to achieve a common vision. And so, coming back to success, right? What does this mean for you? It means that your success is your own, and you will not discover it until you know yourself, until you be yourself. So the first step is knowing oneself, understanding how to be yourself, and then it means finding the places to express oneself. That is success. And the journey of you achieving your success, it is never ending. First off, it's full of abundance, it's full of joy, it's full of creativity, so many gifts that will come to you. That journey will not be found until you are on the path and you are aligned to who you truly are. Because any amount of success that you receive outside of who you truly are will never really bring fulfillment or contentment. Never will be. So might as well get on the path right now, figure out who you are right now, and begin to chase your dreams. This is your permission to be yourself, put yourself out there, because there is somebody looking for you, and it is time that you let go of all of these thoughts about success and allow to discover what success means to you. So if you are looking for a community full of individuals who are tuned into their purpose, who are looking to discover their purpose, join my community, Lucid Education. Link is going to be down below. You will be able to gain access to my course, to me, to a community of individuals who are all looking to achieve their purpose. And I will see you there. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. You already know. It's your boy Lucid. And don't forget, stay lucid. Peace.